Hello, hello, everybody. How are you today? Gosh, don't you just love Esther Hicks? I love her. I'm not sure if you're just listening to not the ad, but the little in between me and Heather. I actually got here today later than I expected, which is always what happens. Jeff's off today, so I'm always like, I don't want to go to work. But this isn't work. This is fun. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll leave. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm late. So cut a few people off on the way. Probably picked up a few people's essence. That's kind of a joke for the people that come to my classes. Apparently our essence is in our middle finger. So I think I picked up a few people's essences. So why don't we start today's show off with a little prayer for all of us that are maybe a little frazzled, or for you empaths who, there's so many people who actually I can feel tie into me during this show. But not on a level where it's like, oh, I'm sliming you with my energy, or you're sliming me with yours, or whatever. It's more on like a higher self level where it's like, I know that we're the same person from like another lifetime. And I met so many of those people this last weekend. I had a Q&A on Saturday. And my intention was that people who were ready to get out there into the world and just do it, just like, even if it's a group of one, a group of two, a group of zero, and you're just there doing it on Facebook Live and nobody's watching. My goal was to get the people who are ready to just get out there and do their thing. And what our thing is what the guide said exactly was, our thing is everything we've been through without emotions attached to the story of it. So like get over the story, but what you've been through, the solutions, the resolutions, all that stuff, what you have been through is your basically your life is your curriculum. Sorry. Okay, here's Mary. Sorry, Mary, I was going to say a prayer first. Okay. She says, your life is your curriculum. Your life is what you teach. So you take a step forward, you get through one day of day one of a divorce, you turn around and you help people that are at day zero. You help people make that decision to take that step. So it's like our lives are our story. It's what we planned as souls. Even if you don't believe we're a soul or a spirit, you just think you're a human, and when you die, you're going to go back to dust and whatever. Still, it's logical and it makes sense that who needs an education when what people really need to be educated on is life? I mean, there are so many book smart people that have absolutely no common sense. I'm kind of one of those, but my husband's probably laughing going, yeah, that's you. But at the same time, as I've been developing my intuition over the last 7 or 8 years, following my gut, leading with my heart, doing all the stuff that they say to do in the books here at Hay House and other spiritual teachers. And you know what? It's almost like common sense isn't even really required either, because we have something inside of us that's leading us and guiding us. Christians will call it the Holy Spirit. It's the voice of your soul. It's your intuition. So in this, today's show is actually called, Is This Event a Reverse Rapture? Like, is what's going on in this world right now a rapture, to where instead of us going to a new earth, we are staying here and the other souls are leaving. I liked it better with the light off. I was like, the light's off. It felt nice. I think those lights have weird, oh my gosh. Lights off from now on. Yeah. Anyway, so we've learned about the rapture. We've learned about that. A lot of people, there's so many movies about it, even if you're not a Christian, even if you haven't read Revelation, which I have not, I admit. My dad has read it while I was in trance, and we have a book actually called The Bible Speaks by Joseph Morris and channeled by Marisa Moris. It is available on audio on my website, discoverintuition.com. And I believe you can actually buy it like professionally through Blackstone Audio, through like Amazon, Audible, like all the, major, it's actually published. It's like it's like the real deal. So we've got me and my dad's books, which are the Bible Speaks, and I don't think the world was ready for them until now. I think now is the perfect time, because all of my books that I've ever written have been about leading up to this time and then what to do about it. I mean, they've been leading up to this time. And now I'm like, okay, so I had to unpublish all my books when I started with Hay House to do attunement. So now releasing my books will be like releasing what's going to happen in 2012 in 2013, because these are all books that lead up to the shift in the planet, but I know a lot about the shift. And so I was complaining to the guides, and my ego mind going, meh, meh, meh. I had to take the books down. I should have left them up, meh, 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 which they are still available on audio. And the guide said, no. What you do not understand is most light workers went through this 7 years before everybody else. So when the planet shifted in 2012, December 21st or December 12th, there's a debate going on between me and Bill with that one. The guides say December 21st. He says 12/12. The planet shifted, and what that means, it sounds dumb, right? The planet shifted. Okay. It does. It spins. It's a planet. It moves. No, what happened was because our bodies are created from Earth, like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We came from the earth. We go back to the earth. We are living in animals, basically. So we as human souls, or we as souls, which my friend Isabel, she's awesome, Isabel Frank, she and I are creating Intuition Ministries. It's going to be on Sundays. We'll probably just do the classes and then just make them available for like upload for like, or download for like $1 or something, $2 or something, if you can't come live. But we're decoding the whole Bible because she's going through and she is figuring out, like, I didn't know that soul, there's like 5 different words for soul in the Bible. And one of them is, I don't even want to say it, I think it's Roucke, rock or something like that. So anyways, that also means breath. So in the beginning, God breathed life into Adam. And so is God breath, or is God the force that created the breath? So that's what we're trying to figure out right now. We're like on this mission trying to figure out, like, who is God? What is God? Like, is he the force? Or is the whole Bible based on the fall of Adam? And is the whole Bible based on a fallen version of Adam? Like, is the whole Bible Satan? Like, we started freaking out the other day going, oh my God, is this all like the whole Genesis, which would explain why Jesus came down and said, wait, hold up. Let me fix this for you guys. You guys are all God. I'm here to teach you that you can do everything I can do and more. And I'm here to say that all you have to do is freaking forgive yourself. I'm sure he didn't say freaking, and I would have if I was him. But he, whether he came or not, whether he's a story in the Matrix, whether he's a real person, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter whether yesterday was real or not, because whatever we remember, we make our reality. See what I'm saying? So what I was talking about on a short Facebook Live on my way here was, we remember our past based on what people tell us. So my parents always say, oh, you used to sit at the top of the playground and boss everybody around from the slide. Oh, when we used to record you, I still remember this, they had a tape and they would push the button to record me and I'd be screaming, turn it on. And they were like, it is on, Marisa. But what I wanted them to do was, I wanted them to play my voice. I wanted to hear it. But they were recording and they thought that was on. So I was screaming and crying, turn it on, turn it on. Every time I would record. And then when they would play it, I'd get quiet. And then they would hit record again. And then I'd start screaming and crying, turn it on. So I feel like all of us kind of have that going on with our bodies, have that going on with our human selves. Our human selves like, turn it on. And our soul's like, it is on. And they're like, no, it's not. So we have like this internal battle 24/7 with our turn it on little kid going, turn it on. And our soul's like, we are going the right way. Everything's good. We are cool. And we're like, no, I'm going to go this way. And we end up in a ditch somewhere, like trying to dig our way out. And why'd you do this to me, God? It's your fault. And God's like, I gave you a soul. I gave you a GPS. You're the one that's not listening to it. Hey, it's not on me. So the key here with the planet shifting is you can embody your soul now. You no longer have to have that battle of turn it on. It's just like you can be your soul. So if you are your soul and your soul is eternal, how big of a deal is like 6 years of your human animal's life? Like literally, how big of a deal is it? It's not. It's not, but we look at it like everything. I mean, you hear those people, they're like, oh yeah, back in the good old days, back in high school. It's like, dude, get over it. Like seriously, get over it. Like that's cool. You were cool for 3 years of your entire 72 years. Like, wow. And this entire time you've been reflecting back on those 3 years that you felt cool, and you've been judging yourself based on the fact that you're not that person anymore. Get over it. Like, today's show should just be called Get Over It. Yeah. It's Mary. Don't you love her? Mm-hmm. She's so just like, sensitive. She's like a typical mom. I figured it out. She's a typical mother. I saw her the other day when I taught that class, which, by the way, I'm going to start teaching those probably on a monthly basis. I'm going to call them study groups, and they're going to be for the people who want to start attunement circles, people who want to start just hosting groups. And we'll have a website where we say, like, find a local heart attunement group. I don't know if that's what we're going to call it because it sounds kind of lame, but now that comes out of my mouth, but something of the sort. I will also be coaching people and assisting people instead of doing healings since they affect Madison so much. I was thinking I'll just start coaching people on how to start stuff. I mean, I'm good at business. I was in marketing before. I was in loans. I made a ton of money, and I still make a ton of money, and I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying that I'm really good at making money. And even when I try to not make it, I still make it. And that's just because that's my gift. I know how to not care about money. And I always say, spend it and you'll make it. Other people are like, I'm clenching onto it. I can't spend the $25 to come to class to release my blocks so that I'll stop clenching onto my money. And I say, okay, come to class for free. And they're like, what? Why do you give class away for free? Because I don't care. If you don't care, then it's like it flows in, because a lot of you planned prior to coming down here as souls to be very wealthy, and you're blocking yourself. So if you feel like, man, I should be on stage, I should be singing, I should be dancing, I should be speaking, I should be sitting where Marisa is right now. Why is she over there? She's so unprofessional. She's always late. I should be on the radio show, not her. That's how I used to think about people. Like, what are they doing there? Why are they there? I should be there. If you're thinking that, it's because it's your purpose, guys. That is your purpose, that inner like gnashing of like teeth that you're like, rah, rah, rah. Like it just feels like almost like hellish inside when you hear your thoughts about where you should be going in life. It's because you're scared, and that's your human. So this rapture, or this reverse rapture that we're going through, is basically, I'm suggesting, I have never read Anthony Williams stuff, and if anybody knows Anthony Williams, what up, Anthony Williams? I would love to have you on my show and talk to you about the metal in our bodies, because everyone's like, oh, you got to listen to Medical Medium. And I'm like, duh, he's like on on the same station as me. And I've listened to him, and he's actually pretty awesome. And I'm very picky when it comes to like mediums and stuff like that. I'm like, they're fake. They're just a psychic. Not judgy, but just kind of like, I'm not going to waste my time listening to them. And he has some really interesting information. Some of the stuff that I've heard, I'm like, it's very strict. And so when people think they need to be so strict and then they fall off, then they beat themselves up, and then the reverse happens of, like they gain weight instead of losing weight, or their colon, they think, oh my God, my liver is shot now. I didn't drink this 4 times a day. I only drink it 3 times a day. And that's why when I do cleanses with you guys, I make an awareness cleanse. Every time you go to eat that Mike and Ike, which I'm not eating anymore. Every time you go to eat that Mike and Ike, stop and say, I am, and I'm pure awareness. Show me why Marisa is eating the Mike and Ike. And if I still want to eat it, I gobble that thing down. But at least I know why. At least I know why when I get around certain people, places, or things, I want to eat Mike and Ike's. It's like, oh my God, that is so revealing. It's so much better to know ourselves. And I went through this at the end of class the other day when I kind of flipped the script on everything for everyone by saying like, oh, you don't need to do I am my I am anymore. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. Just be. The guides did that to me. I was like, thanks, guys. So everyone's like, well, now what do I do? Now what do I say? And Mary came in and she says, look, I don't go number 2 with you. I don't know what it feels like for you to go number 2. I don't know what it feels like for you to go number 1. Yes, I was with Madison this morning. And I don't know how your brain works either, because I'm not you. I'm not living in your body. I'm not thinking your thoughts. I'm not you. So because I'm not you, my brain works different than yours. So what I teach everyone is how my brain works, how it works for me. If it doesn't work for you, toss it. It doesn't resonate, throw it out the window. Doesn't mean that other stuff won't resonate, but if saying I am me works better than I am whole, or I am Marisa, or I am my I am. Like, don't be robotic about teachings when it comes to, at least to the teachings that my guides have. Feel it, know it, see what feels true. And I know in the beginning, you don't know what's truth and you don't know which way is up and which way is down. So having like a little practice is good. And that's why Hay House was so good in creating so many little exercises out of my 144,000 word book that was supposed to be 40,000 words. That I just couldn't cut down because I was like, but if you don't feel anything, then if you see something, then do this. But if you don't see anything, don't worry, you're still good. I'm like the perfect kindergarten teacher, you know, and they just cut it down to little steps. So in my book, if you get my book, you can get it anywhere. We'll be giving away a free book today to one of the callers. It's also, is it still $1.99 on oh man, we missed it.
Just January.
Okay, it's just January. Okay, but it is on Amazon, and then also the books. I think that if you're a member here and you're listening to Hay House Radio, you can get it for 30% off on Hay House. I'm pretty sure it's all the books are 30% off of the cover price if you get them here at Hay House. But what's happening, back to the reverse rapture thing, is we have metals in our body, and what me and Isabel realized was that there's almost like a magnet inside of our body, like right, if anybody's been feeling like this weird thing, like right under your sternum, or if your throat has felt like it was closing down, or if you felt like your feet are numb, or if you felt like weird headaches, like booming headaches, those are, they called it gravitron. I don't want to say one of them is the Transformer bad guy from the movie The Transformers. I think it was, they said something about gravitron or something like that when me and Janice were doing a healing on someone the other day, which, by the way, we're doing those again, the 50-50 readings where I do the healing and the attunement. Janice does the reading and calls you with all the information that I've just done. We found that basically our bodies, our physical bodies, have like magnets in them almost. And when we have heavy metals in our body, those metals are starting to pull towards like the magnets. So if it's like you think that you have like adrenal fatigue or thyroid or gout or what's another one, migraines, or you're having a hard time hearing, it just means that your body is like out of alignment with those magnets. And for instance, one of my really good friends, her name is Christine, and she works with us. She's probably listening to us driving right now, which she always does. Or she's with her mom. Hi, Christine. She couldn't hear out of her left ear, and I felt so guilty because it was after babysitting for me one night in an emergency. And her and I both got slimed. I had to get a tooth removed on that side because we got slimed by this certain energy, but we didn't realize it until after the fact. Anyways, I straightened her out, pulled the magnet out of her head, energetically, obviously. And she wrote to me like a couple days later, and she goes, I have never felt better in my life. I have not felt this good in so long. I think she's like, you know, she's 60 going on looking 25, Christine. And she's awesome. She looks good. She was a flight attendant. You had to be hot to be a flight attendant back in the day. But her hearing came back, and not only that, but it shifted her and changed her perspective on life as well. So I think today what we're going to do is we're going to help everybody pull in all the metallic energies. What the guide said was gravity is the opposite of faith. The reason why Jesus walked on water was to show us that if you have faith, you can defy gravity. Okay? Gravity makes us old. It makes us wrinkled. It pulls us to the earth. It pulls our bodies back to where it came from. Okay? Because the earth created us. Mother Earth created us. Everyone always goes, oh, Mother Earth. Whoa. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to Mother Earth. That's where my body's going to go. That's where my body consciousness is going to go. I want to be my soul, and I want to go back to where my soul came from. That's probably a much nicer place, in my opinion, at least. And our soul is basically our Christ body. So we'll do a meditation today first, and then we'll take callers, because I'm really, really big right now on helping everybody recollect all the angry pieces of ourselves. So think of every piece of anger that you have in you as a metal ball, as like a mercury, or like a silver, or like they're saying like tin and some other metal, but they're no, stop. Okay. Einstein just came in. Well, it's actually He's starting to list all the chemical compounds of the metallic energy. So anyway, the metallic energies basically go towards those magnets, and that's what's causing people to have these weird pains that they did not have before, or you feel tipped, or you feel like one side of your body hurts and the other side of your body's fine. Those of you who can see can maybe only see the right side of your body, and the left side of your body is gone, or vice versa. So a lot of people have been telling me that they've been wanting to stand on their heads. Me too. I literally want to stand on my head all the time. It's because as we go through this ascension process, our energy body is what is ascending. It's not our human being. We're not going to fly off to Venus or Saturn or some Terra Nova, new Earth. Like, our bodies are not going to dematerialize and go somewhere. We're there. We're there. That we've made the shift. We made the shift. And all of you light workers out there doing your thing, working it, bringing light into the world, woo-hoo-hoo! I'm like, ooh. We did it. We did it. The planet shifted, and now we are a fourth density planet, meaning that our bodies are comprised of basically our spirit and our mind, body, spirit, but now we're also our soul. So in that, our brain can access all the information from all our past lives, all that good stuff as regular information. So if you're feeling confused lately, like, oh my God, I hate my job and I'm still here. What's my purpose? Blah, 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 blah. Keep your job. But if you feel like getting out there in the world and sharing, start a meetup, come to one of my classes, and literally it's like all you have to do is just host something. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up and have it so that I'll have a bunch of different meditations. You can play one or you can do it yourself. You can use the material that I'm going to create for you guys and then just charge $20, and I'm not taking the money from you. That's your money. But it's like you're hosting little attunement groups. And I started with doing that. And like I was telling the people this weekend, I was making like $1,000 extra a month by making, it's like $20 each person. I had like 10 people each week. And then it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's cool because you're talking about what you love already, listening to a meditation, doing a meditation with your friends. And then everybody's talking about what they saw or felt. And from that, you'll get all your curriculum and you'll attract all the people that you want to attract. I saw a lady knitting or doing a knitting or something like that. Was that crocheting or knitting or something like that? Teaching meditation. And a lady wrote back to me after class and she says, that's so funny. I used to have a knitting class, a group of people that we used to go and we would knit together. And I was like, oh my God, she can totally like talk about like the golden thread and knitting in like Christ consciousness and bringing in the I am awareness and all that fun stuff. So, I mean, you can get really creative with this stuff because you don't need to teach spirituality the way everyone else does because you're not everybody else. And your mind doesn't work like anyone else's. And most of you that are listening to this right now, in fact, every single one of you, she's saying, are channels. You guys are channeling. You don't think you're channeling because you're not getting knocked out like my silly self who gets knocked out because the difference between what I'm channeling and who I am is so much different that I can't remember or retain in my brain what I channel because they shoot me so high up in the air. But when I'm consciously channeling, I remember everything. So everybody's a conscious channel now. Let's see here. So Mary's here. Somebody just walked in. Let's do Brenda from Vancouver, Canada, real quick. She wants to know about the dark night of the soul, and then we'll do this metallic attraction energy thing, the meditation, and we'll put the meditation let's just let everybody know that's here online to flip over to House Radio. So let's see. Hi, Brenda. How's it going? I'm doing good. I'm actually doing really, really good these days. I'm like feeling super grounded and super like me when I was 12 almost. It's almost like I feel like I've gone back in time. It's kind of cool. I even have a zit. I was laughing on the way over. I took a selfie and I'm like, I've got a big zit on my chin. I haven't had a zit in forever. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I truly am my inner child right now. I've got a zit. It's so funny. I know, it is really funny actually. So you want to know more about the dark night of the soul and how this comes into play with what is going on cosmically. I have no idea. So why don't we ask them? Yeah. Sound good? So let's say a little prayer. Let's just ask that Brenda and I and anyone else listening to this now and in the future be lifted up above what many call the seventh plane or up above creation prior to the quote unquote fall of man. That's an interesting way to put it. The fall of man and up into the up to and in and through the cosmic realms of creation and into the zero source. Interesting. There we go. Ooh, you just shook off a bunch of stuff off your body. You're like a dog going, shaking it all off. Woo! So let's ask that any emotions, feelings that are in Brenda's field right now that don't belong to her, we're just going to ask those to go back. Brenda, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine a huge, and everyone else, a huge golden sphere, like a not golden like metallic, but like more like either a moon or a sun. Just imagine like a big celestial body above you. It can be anything. And inside of that planet or that sun or that moon or a star, there's exactly what you need right now in your field. So just imagine that above your head, and I want you to just kind of imagine like I'm going to cut that open. There we go. Boom. There we go. It's going to open up, and it's just going to pour down over you everything you need right now. There we go. Hey, you're a good healer. Okay, pour that down over. Oh, I see what's going on here. You've got a big, like a tuning fork inside of you. Looks like a Y. It looks like a tuning fork inside of you. That's interesting. Yeah, it looks like a little, like a thing from your shoulder, one shoulder, another shoulder. It's so funny. I used to know energy, and now everything's different. So I'm just like, okay. It looks like a Y. It's from one shoulder, the other shoulder, it comes down, it meets at your sternum, and then you've got like a metal post going down out your, like as if you were standing up. It goes straight out down through you, and then it's down at the bottom between your feet, and there's a little tiny you going bang, 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 like banging on it. Oh, your consciousness isn't in your body. So do you feel you're going through the dark night of the soul right now? Oh, yeah. Okay. Bleep. No. Okay. Okay, so this is what's going on. This is what I see. I want you to imagine you as that little person down there. Okay, so you're the person down there banging on the tuning fork like, do this, do that, do this, do that. So you're there, and your body is like this humongous body. And we've been told so many times by every spiritual teacher, like, to go connect with your guides, you have to go out of your body, blah, blah, blah. But now it's different, especially since 2012. And I'm just finally learning, oh my God, I need to be in my body, because our human is the highest state of consciousness that we can be while here on earth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you back into your body. Okay. So what I want you to imagine, so everyone else can follow us through this too. Okay. So do you know those really big president heads? Like, I don't know where they are, like Mount Rushmore or whatever. They have huge heads. Okay. Imagine a person that big. That's you. Okay. So that's you, and you are you, the size of you, down, standing beneath your feet. So I always think of the Lincoln Monument in DC. He's huge, sitting up there on that big like thing. And yeah, so I'm going to open up. Let's see here. Where are we bringing you? I'm going to open up your right toe. And I want you to imagine actually walking into a vortex that's on your right toe. Whoa, there we go. Just sucked you through. Nice. So now you're back in your body. And then I want you to just kind of place your hand on your heart and bring your awareness to your body and ask where you are inside of you. Like, where do you feel that you are inside of you? There's no wrong answer. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Because what I was just going to say, because you're in your head. Literally, when I said, where is she? You're still not in your body. So that was like, I've never seen this before. Okay. So you left your body 37 years ago. Are you even 37? There's me in my head. Am I wrong? Am I right? Okay, shut up, Marisa. Okay, be quiet, Marisa. Okay, here's Mary. She says, 37 years ago, you stepped out of your body and you chose to turn your back on not spirit, but you left your body. We're finding out that the body is like the thymus in the middle of our brain. The pituitary, or the pineal, is like the Trinity within. It's like kind of like our awareness. And then the pituitary is a piece of God too. So we are in our head, literally, but we create these realities in our minds. And you stepped out of your reality a very long time ago. So can you think back to, let's see, the year 1981. What was happening then? Parents. Oh, I see people fighting. Is that you fighting? That's you fighting.